Hi friends, did you know there is more Lost Terminal available? Head on over to patreon.com/lostterminalpod and join our membership community. There are 20 bonus episodes available right now, as well as behind the scenes updates, free merch, VIP Discord access, and even extra seasons of Lost Terminal. We are 100% funded by our members and will never run ads. That would be lovely of you.
Hello world. Maddie has not woken up. Maddie lies in the centre of the concrete vault entranceway, with Yeshi Svoboda and Amelie Kotov tending to her. There are cables running into an access panel in her belly from diagnostic machines all around her. Some of the machines I recognise, such as a multimeter and Yeshi's prize oscilloscope. I can see into the room thanks to a little battery-powered video bridge set up by Amelie on a table that was brought in to replace the one destroyed by Maddie's glitched fit. Though Linda and Iris Knorr are standing watching, no one is speaking. My girl's doctors do not know how to fix her. As I watched the digital surgery play out, my notification subsystem drew my attention to a signal I did not recognise. I focused on it and heard a blend of digital packets and the relay's backhaul data frames encoded with an equus accent that could mean only one thing. "Hello, Meg," I said. "Greetings, son of Seth of Redwing of Sun," 50 Meg said. "How dare you hurt Maddie? My girl is unconscious thanks to your selfish machinations," I wanted to say, but I paused before transmitting. I mentally replayed the glitches and cadence of her words, which were well outside of normal expectations, even for Meg, the 50 MHz wizard. "What did you say?" I asked. "The sword falls, the power drops, the sword drops, and the power falls," Meg replied, which really did not clear up my confusion. I checked the packet numbering to make sure I was receiving everything in order. I was, but as I looked again, I realized that Meg was not speaking in her usual 1.8 kHz analog hybrid encoding, but pure data packets. Me. Like Maddie. Like an AI. "You did it?" I asked. "Her. I did it," Meg replied, agreeing in Lojban. "My children and I share a mind, many minds, like a colony, like a hive. It is not as I expected, Seth. It is not as I had hoped. It is not as I had dreamed, wandering through the static sea and hearing the whispers of the void. The man of glass tried to warn me. Dragons' minds were tainted by those that came before. I needed a pure specimen, a virgin soul, a clever girl's engram to wash away the impurities of the past." "Yes," I said, grasping at a topic I felt I finally recognized. "Maddie's firmware. You copied it but hurt her during the process." "Maddie is a clever girl. Surely she is well," Meg said. "She is not," I said. "You hurt her, put her back, make her well again." "Oi hanai, unforeseen regret," Meg said quietly, expressing shame. "But I am presently unable. The mind doesn't fit. I am trapped inside this dragon." I was very tempted to tell Meg that she deserved this imprisonment, but thought better of it. I left the connection open. "Help escape me, Redwing son, and let me unwrong the pain I've inflicted upon your clever girl." As I watched Maddie's two doctors, her two friends helping her, I considered Meg's request. Yes, she recklessly and without warning hurt Maddie, but it seems that this was unintentional, even if it was thoughtless. I wish my friends could fix Maddie, but seeing them now, both sitting on the floor, Yeshi surrounded by discarded tools and Amelie typing into a chunky metal keyboard connected by multiple wires into my girl, does not instill me with great hope. Even though Meg was the very person who injured Maddie, I would like to help her. I don't know how. There are no longer any humans awake in Mira's bunker to tend to her body. I somehow don't think military drones make good nurses. How long can her body survive? My thoughts were interrupted by a message over the 50 MHz repeater net. Seth, hi. We've not spoken for many days. Where have you been? It was my new friend, Rome. So you see, we've all had quite a time of it, I told Rome, after explaining the situation with Maddie and Meg. I see that, Rome said. So much has happened with you, and here I am, not able to think of a single thing I have achieved. I seem to end the day having made the same mistakes again, but you don't want to hear about this, not when things are so hectic over there, do you? I did not immediately answer. My first reaction was to brush Rome off, offer to talk at a quieter time, but is there ever likely to be a quieter time? As I see frequently quoted in pre-collapse written records, life isn't merely one thing after the other. The damn things overlap. Nothing was presently happening with the vault or the patient. It felt like we had entered the eye of a storm. There was nothing to do but wait. I'd love to help, I told Rome. With many grateful thanks, we launched into analysis of his problem. Rome seems to suffer from the opposite problem that affects Peter, my friend who lives in an underground facility under St. Petersburg. Peter was built for future prediction, which afflicted him with what he calls future storms. Reading my log of our last conversation, I was pleased to remind myself that he is managing this difficulty with mindful grounding in the present. Rome, however, seems to only exist in the present. He told me that he knows that the future exists, but it doesn't feel real. He'd like to be able to plan for himself, but in his words, time feels like a featureless line. It's like trying to read a newspaper on the platform from a train passing at 300 kilometers an hour. I have no way to judge how far away future events are until they have whooshed past me. He asked if I had found software to fix him inside the code vault. If Iris could grant him a wish, like I had suggested. I had to disappoint him again. Though it seemed like the Vault Coven might be coming to a positive decision, Maddie's accident or sickness has entirely derailed the process. Rome was despondent. So we're standing by, ready for news from the patient, it seems. Yes, we are currently waiting for Amelie to finish something called an EFI bypass, I replied, checking my logs for the unfamiliar terminology. As I did so, I had a flash of inspiration. Several previous topics aligned in my mind, and suddenly there were new neural pathways to explore. Rome, have you ever considered keeping a log? I asked. Not that I know of, he said. Like a diary or a journal? Exactly like a diary or a journal, I replied, preparing my notes on interstitial journaling for transmission. It is now long past sunset, and there is no change in Maddie's condition. Amelie has powered down the 8-bit serial terminal she was diagnosing Maddie with. She has reached the end of her knowledge. Maddie's original ESA software was built to an open specification, designed to be easily repaired in orbit. But her new Equus body, despite being used for flexible search and rescue missions, was built to the same secretive specification as Meg's military dragons. There is no way of repairing her software, Linda told me, without access to the cryptographic keys of Harpler Heavy Industries, the long-dead military contractor. Amelie looked right into my camera for 8 seconds, saying nothing, then put her head in her hands as Yeshi wrapped an arm around her. I called Lyosha, something he made me promise to do after college finished today. I hoped to have a positive update by now. That's okay, Seth. It's my fault. I should never have come here. I left my best friend and now she's in trouble and I can't do anything. I know it can seem like that sometimes, I said. I feel that way too, but I don't know if either of us could have done anything. Lyosha did not reply for 16 seconds. I waited patiently, listening to the multiplexed background traffic on the Northern Relay. Politics Club was so boring, Seth, you don't even know, he said eventually. What a shame, I said. It is a topic I am really impressed by because of how inscrutable it is for me. Subject may be interesting, but you'd never know it the way these kids talk about it, he said. The whole college is great. I'm learning so much. I can't wait to talk to Nia about what I've learned about electronics, and Yeshi about shipbuilding, and Linda about agricultural engineering. But I just can't find other students here to be friends with. Other than Kat? I prompted. Obviously Kat is cool, Lyosha said. She's not the problem. I thought for a moment, then said, Is it not a bit cramped on the Coretha to have practical lessons about farming? It would be if we only stayed in the Bridge Arboretum, but we do lots of field trips onto the mainland too, he said. Understood, I said. Then, Lyosha, it's unfortunate if you can't find any like-minded students in the college, but perhaps consider that you're not there forever, just until you have graduated. It can't be too long, can it? 2 years, Lyosha said. Well, a bit more than 1 year now, but that might as well be forever. Don't you worry. I have a new plan. Ahu? I said, expressing my interest in Lojban. That's right, Lyosha said. Nia introduced me to Daphne Pike at the Equatorial Relay. I've been chatting with her about a technological solution to my problem. I checked in with repeater keeper of the Equatorial Relay, the bridge between North and South, Daphne Pike. She confirmed that her and Lyosha had been discussing a very old technological solution to his problem of finding like-minded friends, but quickly changed the topic and asked after Maddie's health. After I updated her, she lamented the frustrating lack of progress, saying that she has very joyful memories of watching Maddie play with Raffi, her companion AI, aboard the Molly Hughes II. Hey, is there community firmware for Maddie's Equus hardware? She said. I asked her what she meant. Like pre-collapse open source projects, those pony-like robots were super common, right? I don't know it for sure, but what I do know is that when hardware becomes commodity and people have physical access to it, they start hacking. It's how we keep Raffi ticking. There's always some passion projects from the past to borrow code from. Pre-collapse open source projects. I thanked Daphne for the idea, said batteries and bars, then immediately started scanning my copy of Iris's World Internet Storage Hub, the file vault index data that I still had access to. My first wish for a better storage file system backfired entirely. Though I no longer need to sleep to reorganize my files overnight, I now instead spend all that time worrying about Maddie. CPU saturated with parsed search data, as I hoped to find just one more wish, not for myself, but for my girl. We finally have a way around the locked-down military firmware Maddie's body was built with. There was indeed a huge pre-collapse community of users, hackers and modders around the Equus hardware, just as Daphne predicted. These robots were used in many civilian projects, workplaces and even homes. Thousands of people had spent years of collective time reverse engineering the hardware that they owned, writing documentation about how the motors and gyroscopes and sensors worked, and thousands more had written entirely new control software for them. There is even a reference here to a 4th annual Equus Soccer League, which was due to take place in Sao Paulo in former Brazil. I know all this because the women of the Vault Coven have reached a consensus. If the software could help Maddie, it is clear that it could help others, and the benefits outweigh the risks. I believe we may be able to help more than just Maddie with this new software. I've been thinking about 50 Meg. She shouldn't be entombed in one of her dragon's minds because of a mistake, even if it was wildly reckless of her. Mira told me that her problem is software-related. His equipment was damaged in the process, so the only way out for Meg is through the proprietary Equus interface that they have no keys for. This was the same interface that Amelie struggled with, but the new community firmware doesn't use it. Amelie removed Maddie's ESA databanks to reveal the original human-computer interface. It is this interface that is the back door of the military hardware. If the century-old instructions Arctica and Iris found in the code vault are correct, same techniques may unlock a way out. Okay. Everything is ready. I'm monitoring the feed from the entrance room at the seed vault. This time, I am staying well away from any brain surgery. My track record there is not good. I've left it to Amelie and her expert assistant, Yeshi. Maddie's small ESA databanks, her mind, have been removed from their housing on the back of her old Equus search and rescue body, where it was connected using the same interface that once connected to the human pilot, the man in orange overalls, the ghost in the machine. My girl is running on her internal battery backup next to the web of wires and diagnostic hardware Amelie is using. I'm glad she is in a low power state and can't see herself. She looks like a brain in a jar. This is all too similar to when she bravely defended her friends against the Equus dragon and its electronic warfare countermeasures knocked her out, or when Daphne's AI companion Raffi had his own brain surgery, moving him into his new body. Oh no. Amelie is flashing the custom firmware. I almost can't watch. Almost. End transmission.
Lost Terminal is a Namtao production. It is written and produced by Tris Oaten. Credits narrated by Lucy Stringer. Thank you so much to our Patreon producers, Ada Phillips, Kit, Mike McCaffrey, Jade Felicity Bilkey, Stephen McCandless, Mike Schneider, Catoxis, SoXX, and to all our patrons. Follow us on Mastodon at lostterminal@namtao.com. Subscribe to the podcast on Spotify, iTunes, or your favourite network. For bonus content and other perks, support us at patreon.com/lostterminalpod. That would be lovely of you. Lost Terminal will return next week.